Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hearts of Iron Old World Blues Meta. Um, so first of all, actually, the country I'm going to be focusing on today is the Republic of the Rio Grande. And I'm also going to be clarifying something as I do enter the game. First of all, I'm sorry for my last video. My last video, I completely butchered it. I was super tired when I uploaded it. And I didn't sort of play it back to, check it. And I realized I completely forgot to upload my other half. So my last half was only my Caesar's Legion clarification. So earlier, in an earlier video, I brought up that specifically with these four, that I said the only thing that the Brotherhood of Mars did was remove the rejection of automation. Now, that is incorrect, though. Actually, with the most recent update, now that's the only one that does that, where it's the only one that does rejection of autonomy is removed. So, I also believe that the Brotherhood of Mars does make you advance from what I've heard from multiple sources. I haven't done it myself. However, if that's the case 100%, I think Brotherhood of Mars is your best bet. If you can game the Civil War to win it, and you manage to win, you will be unstoppable versus the NCR, I believe. Because like I said, there's zero way the NCR, through Civil War or anything, can become advanced. The only way I think that could work is if the Enclave, which sprout up usually around, where exactly? It's Dayglow and Greater Dayglow. Excuse me. That is the only way I think they technically could become advanced, and even then, they wouldn't be the NCR. They wouldn't have their special benefits. They wouldn't have their different, different advisors and different general staff. And again, I've never seen it. The only thing I have seen, personally speaking, is the Brotherhood of Steel take them over, and if that's the case, then you've been equal footing with them if you did do the, Mars Brotherhood. However, with the most recent update, I still think the Immortal Empire is a secure second place as far as meta goes for usefulness, because with non-core manpower being a bigger thing, with, the La Resistance update changing the game on it, on occupation and all that, I do think that those not as good. Oh, never mind. I am sorry. Never mind. It is that good, which is global non-core manpower is plus 40%, which is a fuck ton. Like, it is so much. I am sorry. That explains why I was getting so much manpower in my Legate playthrough I was doing earlier. But it gives you a lot of manpower. So, however, I'm going to go back to the Republic of the Rio Grande, which is what I'm focusing on. So, in this one, we're going to have 3 different, possible paths. There's sub-decisions, but usually I use them sort of along where they're supposed to go, if that makes sense to you, which now that I said that out loud, it doesn't at all. So you have 3 options mainly, which is the Hero's Oath, which you choose Mora as your leader. He then pretty much unifies all of Mexico under one sort of Mexican empire and attempts to take out the AIs, and, then he goes after Caesar's Legion, which we can see in here. Grab the bull by the horns, which not only you go after the Legion, but you eventually end up trying to take Bajas away from New California. His is personally my favorite, but I'm going to go further into which one I think is the best in a minute. The middle one is a president's speech, where you work with Guerrera. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, my apologies. But Guerrera pretty much is all anti-Legion. He forms a faction to go against the Legion, and he sort of has, instead of dominating or like invading all the other groups, he sort of just brings them into one faction, which I don't think is as good, because I don't trust AIs in this game. That's why I don't usually puppet things. I don't usually rely on vassals or whatever. I am just like, this is better in my hands. I take the factories, and I'm just like, okay, I'm dealing with this. Which is why Dante Guerrera's path, I think, is the worst. I straight think is the worst. The Engineer's Ambition, where you work with Rosado. So, I played this one, and you become advanced. I'll tell you right now, at the very end of this, specifically... here it is. Tlaloc's Beating Heart, and I probably mispronounced it again, sorry. Um, I'm going to have to say that I'm going to go against my rule of thumb and say that one is not the best one. It's just not. If you get to advanced, then it's really good, and it gives you a lot of cores also, which is also really good. However, especially early game, you're going to be incredibly underpowered, especially for one that makes you, kind of pushes you to do automated warfare, which automated warfare on its own, I think needs a major buff. I've heard many people talk about it. I hate playing it. Unless I'm literally playing New Vegas, I will not play the automated warfare. I will not. Unless I'm playing New Vegas, unless I'm playing literally an AI empire, like, not even try to do that. Unless I'm playing a Santa Anne, let's say, not even try to pronounce that and embarrass myself, or Tlalocan, I will not do automated warfare. I just don't think it's very good. If I'm an advanced sort of empire, like say the Brotherhood of Steel or the Enclave, I'm going to go with refined warfare because I think Power Arms is so much more effective. It's so much more versatile. It's just far better in almost every single way. Which is what it kind of wants you to do with Mora, which I'm a little surprised it doesn't give you a little bit better power armor past salvaged. However, understandable. There's a lot of manpower to be had in Mexico, so I see them not wanting to give them too many tools to be too broken. But Mora I think is best, like I said. But back to Rosados, yeah, I just don't think it's good. You don't have a lot of factories because all this, which first of all is your main factory base in the beginning of the game. Let me look exactly how many slots it has. You have 1, 5, 9. You have about 17 here. And over here is pretty good too, but there's a lot of concentrated industry going on in here. If you were to lose out on all these factories, that's like a solid half of your production base, which I think is insane to then hand off to the Rio chapter, which we see right here. And thankfully speaking, the Rio chapter, sorry, I don't know why I hesitated there. The Rio chapter is relatively easy to control, and it doesn't give you any issues. But if they put in like a Texas Brotherhood up here that can steal this from you using the Rio Brotherhood, that is going to be undoable. It's just not going to be playable. Because, like I said, if you expect us to do refined warfare, which is robot-based, and you're going to be having us try to work with robots, which, let me look at the exact specs on it, but usually, I would say your main thing is going to be either Mr. Gutsy's or Sentry Bots for your main hitters. Sentry Bots are 16.8 production costs versus 12 production costs, which is not cheap. I'll tell you that much right now. Look at Scavenge Power Armor. It's more expensive to do than Power Armor, and I think less useful. But also, it's like, you know what I mean? As opposed to more, that's just like, okay, we're going to take the factories back. We're going to hand them off. I don't know. I don't think it's very feasible early game. Not to mention, even if you annex the different AI empires which you're supposed to take over as Rosado, let me look at the exact focus here. This would be under the Madman's Wonderland, where it says Shackling Santa Anne, where it is. I'm sorry, where is that it? No, okay, yes. This is the one where you take over. I am very sorry, but it's basically the Mexican Empire that spawns usually around here, around this area. It takes the Great Silo, it takes Linares and Monterrey, and I think it also takes the Ruined Depot. Maximilian, I'm very sorry, it's Maximilian. Maximilian, and as well as Santa Anne, while you take like 1 or 2 states, it wants you to puppet them, which again leaves your army very, very underpowered, especially for if you do want to produce a lot of robots. Now, in its defense, it does give us certain abilities, which I can't show you right now because I haven't really progressed down them right now, but where specifically it goes, Mexico, the Great Jewel. It gives you the ability to sort of raid different areas, not only for numbers of robots, but also the ability to produce them cheaper. I just don't think it weighs out well. Sorry, it's if you guys can see that is as a an appearance. My good friend, you might have seen him on this channel. I'm not gonna first name drop him without permission. Sorry, this video is so shit. So ultimately, if I'm gonna rate this, I'm first of all going to go with Mora as number 1, the Da Vinci of War. With number 2, I'm actually gonna put the Rose of Mexico. Even though I spent a lot of time trashing it, I do think it's pretty fun, especially late game. And 3, Dante's Inferno, I just think is lacking. I just don't think it's very good. Maybe I just need more time with it. That's the one I played the least, 'cause I enjoy it the least. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Anyways, leave a comment down below the next sort of empire or country you want me to do. Especially one in Oregon over here. I think some of these would be pretty interesting to do. The Bone Dancers. Broken Coast, I'd be willing to do one on, even though it's just only 1 or 2 decisions. The Bone Dancers having more to choose from. But, yeah. And anyone that has a lot of decisions, a lot of choices, I'm going to see if I get more experience in these ones to do a video on. But so far, we have already covered the NCR and Caesar's Legion. I believe that's the only ones. Unless I'm stupid, that's the only ones. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe. Not sure why you would. This video sucked. Anyways, see you guys later, and goodbye.